The midday sun blazed over the village, and Ethan's frustrations boiled hotter than the dirt beneath his feet. He stormed into the marketplace, muttering under his breath. No matter how hard he worked, life seemed to mock him at every turn. The villagers whispered behind him, "Go see old Kieran. He'll know what to do." Reluctantly, Ethan made his way to Kieran's farm, a place that seemed untouched by worry. The scent of ripe melons and the cool shade of ancient trees greeted him as he arrived. Kieran, sitting on a wooden stool, smiled as if he'd been expecting Ethan all along. Without a word, Kieran stood, grabbed a basket, and gestured for Ethan to follow him. Confused but curious, Ethan trailed behind the old man as they walked through rows of vines heavy with watermelons. Finally, Kieran stopped and said, "Pick the biggest one you see." Ethan frowned. "What does this have to do with my problems?" "Everything," Kieran replied with a twinkle in his eye. Ethan sighed and scanned the field. After a moment, he spotted a massive, perfectly round watermelon glistening in the sunlight. He picked it up, its weight pressing into his arms, and handed it to Kieran. "Good choice," Kieran said, slicing the fruit open with a swift motion. "Now take a bite." Ethan eagerly bit into the vibrant red flesh, but immediately spat it out. "It's tasteless. I thought this was supposed to help me understand happiness." Kieran laughed, his voice as warm as the sun above. "Try another piece, but this time, choose carefully." Ethan hesitated, then cut another slice from the heart of the watermelon. He took a bite and froze. The sweetness danced on his tongue, cool and refreshing, unlike anything he had ever tasted. Kieran's smile deepened. "Life is like this watermelon, Ethan. Some bites are bland, even bitter, but if you keep going, you'll find the sweetness. The key is to savor those sweet moments, no matter how fleeting they seem." Ethan frowned, still uncertain. "But what about the bland parts? How do I deal with those?" Kieran knelt beside a nearby vine and pointed at the roots. "The sweetness of a watermelon depends on how you nurture it. Too little water, and it dries up. Too much, and it rots. Life is no different. Happiness isn't something that just happens. It's something you grow. Balance is the secret." Ethan gazed at the sprawling field, each watermelon a symbol of effort, patience, and care. For the first time, the weight on his chest began to lift. He realized that his constant search for happiness had blinded him to the small joys he'd ignored along the way. From that day forward, Ethan lived differently. He no longer chased happiness like a prize, but nurtured it like a garden, knowing that the sweetest moments were the ones he'd cultivated with care. And as he shared Kieran's lesson with others, the story of the watermelon spread, reminding the villagers that, even in life's struggles, sweetness awaits those who learn to savor it. If you enjoyed this story and its lesson, make sure to like the video, share it with someone who might need this wisdom, and subscribe for more inspiring tales. Remember, happiness is a journey. Let's master it together.